Hey everyone, and welcome to another portfolio update video. We are finally in Robinhood. As you can see, portfolio is currently sitting at $5,027.44. We got a ton of stuff to cover in this video, so let's get started. So to start off, you can see we are up $24 on the day, aka 0.5%. If we look at the week here, we are up $27.43, and if we look at the all-time chart on our new Robinhood portfolio, which we started on May 31st, we are up $27.44, aka 0.5% all time. So now we're going to go over the positions here. So you can see we have two ChargePoint $8 put sales for this Friday, one NEO $6 put sale for this Friday, another NEO's $550 put for this Friday, a plug put sale for $750 for this Friday, and lastly we have two 45 DTE contracts, one on Labu for the 450 strike and one on ChargePoint for the 750 strike. In addition to all that, you can see we have $5 worth of Apple, and this was actually given to me for free for opening my account, and that's why that's in here. But yeah, we were up big on the day and up pretty huge all time already, which I'm really excited about. And also all of these contracts are doing really well that I've sold. So far we're up more than 50% on the majority of them, and a lot of these are set to expire this Friday anyways, so a lot of these will become worthless very soon and give us even more value and premium in this account by this Friday. Another thing to note is that I'm still waiting for $1,000 to settle in this account. So it currently says $5,000, and if you remember on my TD account I had $6,000. That's just because Robinhood with Robinhood Gold only allows you to get $5,000 in instant deposit. So I'm waiting for that extra $1,000 to basically settle in my account, which will happen tomorrow. And also when that does happen, I'll be able to enable margin, which will double my buying power, and I will actually be using margin to sell very low delta 45 DTE contracts just to boost my monthly options income. And now we're in the spreadsheet here. You can see it's so much simpler than my TD spreadsheet, and the reason for that is because the majority of the information is already tracked, and you can see I already have a perfectly good graph here. So there's no need to do all the graphing and data stuff that I had to do on my old spreadsheet, so that's why it looks a lot simpler. I have not set up any of this stuff yet, or the deposits and withdrawals section, because this is just such a new portfolio. But yeah, you can see right here, 2743 up all time by 0.5% already. And I'm kind of changing up how I keep track of everything. So I have a monthly list of contracts that I've sold that I'm going to keep track of here. And then as I had before, I'm going to be having a whole sheet for each specific stock that I sell options on. You'll notice a couple new ones here, such as Plug, NEO, and Wells Fargo. So these are some new ones I'm looking to wheel over the next couple weeks and months, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I looked at the financials and kind of read the Morningstar report, which is provided on Robinhood. If you have Robinhood Gold, it will give you a Morningstar report. And so I was reading up on those, and they give you a ton of insight into the company. That way you kind of don't have to do the research yourself. And from reading that, I really liked Plug, NEO, and Wells Fargo based on that report. So that's why I'm looking to sell options on those. And then on top of that, we have the classic Labu, SoFi, and ChargePoint that we've been doing for a while now. And I'm not doing Palantir anymore just because I feel like it's really overvalued and it's really kind of run away from me being able to sell any options on it. If we look at it now, you can see Palantir is at, yeah, 1553. I mean, it's gone up 100% in the last month. There's just not a good place to sell options on this right now, at least not put options. So we're just basically going to be leaving Palantir alone unless it drifts back down into this $7 to $8 range, which I don't see it doing. So we might just be not wheeling Palantir anymore forever, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I want to briefly cover my new strategy for selling options because it's very different and unique to my old strategy, but I think it'll be much safer and risk adverse and bring in just as much, if not more, premium. So my plan is that every single Monday I'm going to use 1/6 of all my capital, and I'm going to sell a 45 DTE contract or contracts, depending on if it adds up to that 1/6 of my portfolio value. So basically every Monday I open a couple 45 DTE contracts with 1/6 of my portfolio value, and then on top of that, if I have any remaining capital in my buying power, I use that to sell weeklies. And then once I start getting margin, I'm going to be using 1/6 of my margin to sell low delta 45 DTE contracts in addition to the higher delta 45 DTE contracts. So using 1/6 of my capital, my main capital, 1/6 of my margin, to sell 45 DTE contracts, and then I'm going to be using the remaining cash that I have in this account, excluding additional margin, to sell weekly contracts like you see here. So I'm already following the strategy. You can see that I sold $1,000, a little bit more, but around $1,000 worth of 45 DTE contracts, and then I used all the rest of my buying power to sell these weeklies here. And as you know, as I said earlier, I don't have access to margin yet, so I have to wait till tomorrow to start using that, and then I'll be incorporating that in my strategy, just like I said. So in addition to all of that, I also plan on reinvesting some of the premium I make. Probably about 50% of the premium I'm able to gather in this account, I will end up dollar cost averaging into these two leveraged ETFs for the long term. And these are UPRO and TQQQ. So UPRO is a 3x leveraged bull S&P 500 ETF, and TQQQ is a 3x leveraged QQQ bull ETF. So I think long term, when the market recovers fully, these will be great to have bought at this lower level because, as I said, they're 3 times leverage. So if the market recovers fully, these things will go up by probably around 100%. So I'm looking to basically use about half of the premium that I make in this account and dollar cost averaging with that small bit of premium into these ETFs as I go, so that, you know, eventually for the long term, maybe a year or two down the road, these dollar cost average investments that I'm making purely off of profit, meaning that none of these investments into these leveraged ETFs would be from my actual buying power. They would be off purely profit that I make in the account because it's realized premium that I'm using to invest in these leveraged ETFs. But yeah, I think in a couple years time, that would be a very worthwhile investment. And so that's also going to help with putting some of that premium to work that I make in this account, on top of using the remainder of that to continue to compound my interest by selling more options with that premium. Like you can see here on UPRO, it reached a peak of $76.28. It's currently sitting at 42, so assuming the market recovers in the next 5 years, then the current price would be double that, and I also foresee it going higher in the future. So why not use some of the realized gains in my account to basically invest free money into ETFs that'll have a long-term good return. But yeah, guys, overall, that is the portfolio update for this week. Sorry I had to come a little bit towards the middle of the week. I was on a trip, so I couldn't record the video last weekend, and I'll still be getting one out this weekend like usual. But yeah, I thought I just wanted to get at least a video out talking about my current portfolio, the profits I've already been making in this account, and my strategy going forward. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video.